Rocco gave you was he wants you to make a copy of the hard drive of the regional director of the Coalition Immigration and Enlistment Office, which is who is Director Samantha Walsh, and so he gave you a little device, like basically an external hard drive to plug into the computer and download the necessary information, and said that her office was the big one on the top floor.
Perfect.
And that is what you have to go off of. The only other thing was right at the end of the session, Zero was keeping an eye on the other people in the bar, and he spotted a trio of unfriendly-looking gentlemen who had no hair and sort of like rough mercenary type look. And I believe you also saw one of them smile and he had pointed teeth, so some kind of mutant. So yeah, Zero noticed that they were watching you quite intently. And yeah. Yeah, I would assume so. Yeah, so that's where we pick up. You guys are in the basin of the well still, but your business with Rocco is more or less done. Oh, and then it kind of goes without saying, but Rocco said if you bring an army of coalition soldiers back here with you, that's a no-go on the deal.
Fair. That is fair enough. Kind of an outrageous thing to say out loud.
If you do gain any heat, you'd best lose it before you get killed. Come back here.
Perfect. Well, so those guys, they left, right?
I
can't remember.
Exactly either. Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah, I think they left. I think we were discussing whether we were going to follow them right away or deal with them later.
They got up and left in the little tunnels. This city area.
Over our headset rather than out loud, I'm going to ask Rudge. Well, you saw the guys better than I did. Do you think they're worth investigating now, or do you think we should take care of our job first? Well, anybody that seems to be watching us will likely strike at an inopportune time, so I'm sure they will make themselves available at some point. I agree. I feel like that'd be the wiser choice. I feel like if we chase them now, we have nothing to go off of, so it'd be more of being the aggressors for no apparent reason. And we probably don't want to draw any more attention to ourselves.
So you guys gonna head out of the well?
Yeah, I'll thank Rocco's his name, right?
Yep.
Thank Rocco and say see him soon.
Good luck.
Don't need luck when you got skill, and I'll do like finger guns.
He just kind of grins and gives you a wink, and then goes back to his whatever he's doing.
All right.
Looking at his screens and stuff.
So while we're away from Rockenbeg, so I'm gonna be honest, I have like pretty much no practice and or education in the stealthy arts. So I'm hoping that you have a few tricks up your sleeve. Sneaking into government offices. Great, our plans are identical. This should go well. So, perhaps we should scout out an escape plan before we try this. As I mentioned before, one concern that I do have is they seem to have aircraft, which we are lacking in. So I think our primary concern is that if we do get spotted, I feel like avoiding the aircraft is the utmost important detail. I come from a species that loves aircraft, seeing as many of them pretty much function as aircraft themselves, so...
Oh yeah, you also have a Willow drone.
Yep, I have one of my wasp drones up circling above our vehicle
thing. Yeah, and that is like you're connected to that, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that is
eyes
Willow.
in the sky. Yeah, so I have visual range out near our vehicle at the very least.
That is good to know. You will know if anybody tries to mess with it.
Yep.
Or discovers it.
Yep. So, let's see here. I gotta zoom out because my map is like super zoomed in at the second. So, just to clarify, we are down by like Tumbletown, or the well was right there. Okay, it's listed. Okay, perfect. That's what I thought. Okay, and we parked up north there.
Yeah, there's like a
the route that we took in through the oil fields, was it clear of military for the most part, or was it guarded?
I mean, you did, like, when you got up to like around here, you saw a couple of guys, but like out here seemed to be more or less clear.
Yeah, it's like the workers, right?
Yeah, it was pretty much just workers.
Okay.
And I mean, you're guessing that there's probably like intermittent patrols.
Yeah.
No, like, constant presence.
Okay, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember if there was any like guard posts or anything that we just happened to avoid.
And in general, there's sort of like small single-story dwellings, like a cluster here, a little bit over here, and then the rest of this area is just sort of like fields and pastures.
Okay.
So it's fairly open.
Yeah.
There's enough small cover that you can, if you knew what you were doing, you could probably navigate without being seen, but you don't.
I don't like your condescending tone there. I mean, I understand it, but I don't like it.
Gotta take every opportunity I can to
pinpoint
to
that
rib on you for your flaws.
Yeah, I know, right? We're essentially like a bunch of rocks going into a stealth mission here.
Yep.
Okay.
More like a RPG, given your abilities. And...
Oh yeah. I mean, I was thinking a rock as in a barbarian named Rock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yes, that is equivalent as well.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing.
I mean, shit, yeah, if things go down, I'll just turn into metal and you just chuck me at something. Basically like a cannon.
Strategy.
Yeah, there we go. We need to get you like a mega damage like pipe or something, like a bat. That I could just jump up in the air, you can make me weightless and just fucking crack me at something. Actually,
sounds like an amazing strategy.
I mean, in a different campaigns, this is just when I first played Rifts, like for the first time ever, I had two characters. One had weight manipulation, and the other had weight manipulation, and the other person had alter physical structure stone, and I used to sink boats doing that.
Yeah, just like through the hole.
Yep. Anywho, well, seeing as we're both wearing fucking white armor and okay, so it's shiny, even better.
Yeah, shiny
and glowy. Yeah, I know, mine too. Like, I imagine that like every time Willow.
that like negative stealth.
Yeah, I mean, like, Willow's armor is like white and black, but I imagine there's fucking lights all over it for the sensors and stuff.
Yeah.
The sensor suites and stuff. Just, yep. Okay. Well, so the Coalition Immigration and Enlistment Office is on the right-hand side there, right? That's the right one I'm looking at here, over here?
Yep.
Okay.
CINE for short.
Yeah. So we have visitor passes that will allow us to theoretically move around a bit, right?
Yeah, move at least in like
Yeah, like the outer area here.
outside
Yeah.
area.
Definitely. I don't imagine we're allowed in at all. That sounds
I think you talked to someone about this. I think you need coalition citizenship to
okay. Yeah.
And a lot of people out here aren't like officially coalition citizens because it takes a while to,
backlog.
Yep.
I'm assuming
everybody wants to be in the coalition.
So are just impressions, do they look like refugees out here, or is it more of just...
They look pretty similar to your average, like, Western peasant people, just like kind of...
Yeah, they're not like refugees, but life still sucks.
No, they seem like most of the normal humans that you've seen in, like, El Paso and other settlements.
Okay.
If anything, they're a little bit more like healthy looking and like.
I suppose they're still under the protection of coalition of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is a fairly good like piece of farmland for this region. Okay. They have some advanced like irrigation systems and stuff that seem to be.
Oh, totally taking pictures of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's I didn't even think about that. Actually, Rudge, we should really take a scope out and just take some pictures.
To the tourist thing.
Yeah, I mean, if we're allowed to like do the whole tourist thing where like we get to get by of just being kind of nonchalant walking around as if we're just like checking out stores and stuff, we should definitely like try to pass by more important infrastructure and take pictures of it.
Willow and Rudge are totally the like Japanese tourists in America taking pictures of literally everything.
We actually pull out cameras rather than just using our heads-up display cameras.
Big old lens.
Yep. Zoom in super far. Ooh. Take pictures of the locals.
All right. Yeah. So where do you want to? What route do you want to take then? I guess if you want to do some recon.
I would definitely say that the market has definitely got to have some infrastructure. So I think that'd be a good area, just kind of putz around a bit.
All right.
So maybe head like east over towards the roadish area. This is a road, I'm assuming, right?
Yep, the gray lines are roads.
Yeah, so I mean, I'd probably imagine, seeing as the well, I can't remember, we came from the north, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just head back onto there, so that way we're, in like a more easy to travel route, and go onto like the northern road here over to the east, and then just maybe bumble around the market a little bit.
All right, sure. Yeah.
Just mostly just kind of get a lay of the land, I guess.
Yeah. So you walk out on the road here. All these main gray roads here are like they're paved, and they look as though from like a structural engineering viewpoint, they can pretty easily support the weight of like heavy like armored units, so large robots and tanks and stuff. They're designed for that sort of thing.
Okay, so they're actually like military roads too.
They were definitely made by the coalition after they like settled down here.
Yeah, so it's not like pre-done roads from 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Which is mostly it's just like this road is still kind of here. We'll use it.
Yep. We'll build our counter on this stretch of road we found.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's expensive, man. Yeah, so you guys sort of make your way around here. You get a little bit better look at the sort of like this gate here. your suits are still above the tech level here, but not nearly as much as they've been in like other places. Basically, you're looking from most of the tech that you've seen on planet Dirt thus far, have been kind of like the older generation of Coalition stuff, or manufacturers that are like copying old Coalition tech. And this stuff is like the newer stuff of that. So you aren't able to see any of the like specific advanced pieces up close, but you see some like anti-air and like artillery cannons mounted on the tops of the wall. And the wall itself is like this pretty tall. I have the exact height written down someplace, but it's like pushing 60 feet tall at least. The outer wall, and then the gate is like a reinforced blast door sort of thing. So something that looks like it could probably stand up to a modern siege with like long-range missiles and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, from this I would say like the overall tech level of the Coalition is definitely not as high as like your respective races.
We don't have that full technology either.
But yeah, yeah, you don't have that full technology. Like your pistols are probably better than, lighter and more powerful than any of their pistols.
Yeah,
but they're not that far behind.
Yeah, they're making their way up, and so actually that's a good thing. Actually, Will would probably pay attention to. We know that they just started their campaign of Unity, right?
Yep.
Does it look like the soldiers that are throughout the town, do they have like a mix of gear, or are they all in like the new shit?
The soldiers you see around here are they all have their armor does not look like mint condition, brand new. Okay. They have like standard issue armor.
Okay. Yeah, Will just wants to make. She just wants to make a check to see how well their supplies are getting pushed out to their troops and stuff.
It does not look brand new, but it doesn't look overly battered. So
yeah, I mean she's never seen Coalition, so like any of their stuff.
You don't have much to compare it to, but
that's why she's paying attention now.
Yeah.
To get a read on different things.
So you guys make your way to Tumbletown Market, and it is a bustling market, more like a farmer's market than the like the night market in El Paso was, which is like a street sort of city market. So there's a lot more like rural goods available, I suppose you could say. And a pretty good variety of people. You see a lot of like sort of a mix of like farmer type and mercenary type people, and there are a couple of squads of Coalition soldiers sort of on the periphery. I have not.
Nope. Yeah, I mean it's a. Well, I get the general idea. It's a fairly common sci-fi themey type area.
Yeah.
So one thing I do actually, on that note, actually, thank you for saying that, because that actually gave me a different idea. Does it look like this is a place where like caravans stop, or is it mostly local stuff? Like, do we see like out of town, and maybe like any insignias that we would have seen from like El Paso or anything?
You see a couple of vehicles and stuff. Yeah, and some things that probably look like caravans.
Yeah, like that's like loading trucks and stuff.
Yeah. The one does actually catch your eye is over sort of like close to the road and near to where like one of the squads of coalition troops are. There is a it's sort of like an armored car type thing that has the Wilkes Lasers logo on it.
Good to
so
know.
that you do recognize that from El Paso.
All right. Rudge, I think one thing that might be a good idea if we get into some deep shit, if we need a quick alibi, we could definitely say we're from a caravan. Even if it's just a stall tactic for a few minutes. I feel like some of the guards around here might understand that a little more than we're just wandering adventurers. I mean, I almost think that might be a good idea to just go talk to one of them. Maybe just get hired as like security detail or something temporarily. Because I feel like that would, at the very least, that would give us an in with, someone that may be able to pull some strings or give us a chance to get the hell out of here. We've definitely seen Wilkes around a lot. They seem to be pretty popular, so I don't know if I want to go quite with them because if we if we get in trouble, I don't want to drag their name through it. Because if we deal with them in the future, that could be a really bad starting point. Yeah, especially if they're a big name. Like just going to like Amazon and pissing on their front door. Fuck you, guy. Maybe should we just go talk to like one of the smaller caravans and just see where they've come from? Maybe.
All right. So there are a couple. There are most of them seem to be like sort of peddling more, like I said, like rural goods. There is one that's probably like one of the more like rougher, I guess, more trail hardened group that seem to have a assortment of like armor that they're either like selling or like fixing or something.
Okay, that's probably a good start.
So yeah, you walk up to that like little sort of. They have like sort of a stall next to their truck, which it's like a Mountaineer ATV.
I'll just walk up and kind of act like I'm browsing at first, just kind of get a layout of the kind of goods and stuff. Pretty much what you just told me.
All right, yeah. So there's like this burly guy there, sort of blacksmith type build, dark skin, and he kind of looks at the two of you and says, nice armor. That's some impressive stuff. That custom?
Oh yeah, very. Actually, I wanted to come over and take a look at your wares because it seems like you may be a fellow craftsman, and I just kind of wanted to compare goods.
Well, I'm not going to have anything to match that stuff, at least if looks are anything to go by.
Never sell yourself short, especially as a salesman. I'm sure what you have will be plenty good for the average person, but we are not the average person.
That it is, and affordable.
Which is also just as important. Armor does good if you can afford it.
Got a couple of different suits, good for travel. A lot of the heavier armors, if you don't, some of the commercial suppliers don't put much mind for comfort over long voyages. That Crusader stuff chafes real bad. They're wearing sort of a mix of different armors. Most of it's like the huntsman or bushman type armors, which are pretty common on the frontier. It's just sort of like medium weight, like composite plate armor.
Smith of herself. Does it look like they have like custom made suits so it's comfort fit?
Yeah. It looks like they have some like modified versions of like standard armors that you've seen, and it looks like they also have tools for like armor repair and like refitting.
Nice. So whereabouts? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a revolving door on armor and weapons when you're out in the wilderness for a while. You take a couple of hits to a breastplate, and it's just better to replace it. So,
Right. Some damage is not worth repairing.
exactly. Better to just salvage it for scrap and get a new one.
Yeah. So whereabouts you folks from?
Me, I'm from Colorado Baronies originally, up north, and got a couple from there as well. I think Raul over there, he's from the south, Pecos area.
Hey, we just came from that area actually recently.
Yeah. It's heard there's a bit of a it's a bit hot right now. We're definitely going to steer clear from the south.
Yeah, there seems to be some growing tension amongst locals down there.
Rightly so. Our boys in black are marching in greater number.
It seems that way. Are you are you quite friendly with the coalition around here, or are you just a local traveler that stops in?
Oh, I'm not a citizen, if that's what you're asking, but they do fine. I don't got any problem with them.
I was just more wondering how well they treat traders around here.
Well, you got to go through the patrol or like the perimeter outposts and stuff. Sometimes they can be a little bit picky depending on who you get, but
Right.
he kind of like leans in slightly with a little bit of a conspiratorial glance around. It says, "Didn't hear this from me, but a couple of credits to the border guy goes a long way in making sure that your supplies go through unbothered."
Right. I appreciate the tip. We're kind of new to these parts, and we were just trying to scope out the town and see if it would be a good place to open up some trade, but alas, we are here without any supplies ourselves, so we were just hoping to maybe make a buck or two while we're here by hiring ourselves off, but it seems like no one around here needs a hand from some mercenaries. They seem to have their own already. Yep.
Well, you definitely look capable. I'd be inclined to agree with you there, yeah.
Well, I mean, go ahead if you got something to say. Oh, I was gonna say, actually, the thing is, we're not actually too worried about the money. It's more of we need an inn or some reputation. We are unknown around here, so we're just more of looking to get our name out with some friendlies.
Oh, yeah.
So we're actually quite cheap.
He kind of like glances at your equipment again. Says, "I'm planning on being here for a couple more days at least, maybe end of the week, before we either head out back towards CS Missouri or the Baronies. Haven't really decided yet. But, well, I think if you were just to sort of stand next to my stuff, that might draw some more eyes to the wares here, just based on the quality of your equipment.
I don't mean to be sly on you, but that was kind of my plan from the start, if you don't mind. Just saying.
Oh, you've got a merchant's mind, then.
I do. And if you're willing to hire, she'll do air quotes, we'd be happy to avoid any competition if we do business in this area in the future.
All right, sure. What's your price?
Well, I don't know the going rates around here, but what's tea? Willow ask you over the headset. I'll tell you what. We like I said, we just more want to get our name out, so give us a place to rest and maybe a few meals in the day, and we'll call it square.
Oh, well, that's awfully generous.
As I said, we are just looking to earn a friendly reputation from the local, not locals, but the people that may hear some stuff.
Right. And he kind of like thinks for a second, says, sounds good. Although I feel bad hiring anyone without paying them, so how about this? I'll give you 100 credits a day that you stay with me here.
Sounds perfect.
And yeah, there's a space back there for you can set up a tent. I think we have a spare canvas that you can use. It's not very fancy, but gets a roof over your head.
Well, thank you. More than adequate. Fully environmental body armor tends to be good enough for a roof.
That it does, especially comfortable stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you just sort of linger around here, preferably in sight of the market area, that'd be mighty helpful.
Do you have any branded clothing that we could perhaps wear just to get your name out a little bit?
Well, I don't really have a brand. It's just kind of me.
You should pick up a brand. Always be branding.
Maybe I should. Name's Merrick. Yep. And I guess if I had a brand, it'd just be, well, Merrick's Armor or something.
That's all you need. M's a fancy letter. You can make a good logo out of that.
Yeah. Maybe I'll see if there's any aspiring graphic designers around while we're here.
That's a good idea. You get something, I'll wear it.
All right, duly noted.
Willow's gonna get back to like our base with a bunch of swag, decorating our place. Stuff people want. Yeah, so Willow will happily just like kind of mosey on around like the camp and stuff, and she'll even make herself useful and like, you know, help out if people look like they're working on stuff that could use a hand.
All right, yeah. Most of it's like basic armor maintenance and stuff that they're working on, which you can very easily assist with.
Yeah, so basically what she wants to do while she's kind of wasting time is she kind of wants to scope out the area. Like I said, she wanted to get to kind of know the infrastructure around here. This probably gives her a good opportunity to just kind of stare off at things for long periods of time and study it.
All right.
I've got a nice fancy wall up there. Picture.
What's Rudge doing during this? Yeah, just sort of observe, just in the market in general. All right, sure. So both of you guys give me perception rolls then.
Here's where Willow rolls in that one.
It's like, ooh.
Oh, not actually. That's actually pretty good. What the heck?
Yes.
I have what plus something to that? Plus 6. 20.
20. Nice. How about Rudge? Yep. 11. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a fairly vibrant market area from both of you. Just kind of like looking around. You seems to be mostly legitimate business, or almost entirely legitimate business here. And, just like normal sort of farmers market stuff. In terms of other sort of goings on, Willow, you do notice that after I don't know about how long are you guys hanging out here right now?
At least like 7-8 hours a day.
Okay, yeah. So like currently, I think it's like mid-afternoon. So at least until the end of the day is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right, so you definitely notice that you're getting some like looks from the like the squad of coalition troops that is patrolled around here. Like they're checking you out from a distance.
Yeah.
And
I'll probably radio if Rudge didn't seem to notice this or bring it up to me. I'd be like, "Hey, Rudge. Seems our coalition friends may have realized that we're not part of the normal guards of this tent." Yeah, I mean, they're definitely giving us some looks, and they seem to be keeping an eye on at the very least. They might have noticed that we didn't come in with the caravan, too. I'm not sure. Very true. I'm just not sure how detailed their bureaucracy is. Willow, like, you can't see, but her mouth is like a gaze. She's like, "What? What? How?" No, I know. I think it might be time for us to let her. Oh, true. True. It might be a good time to let our friend know that we'll come back a little bit later for camp. I think we should get our attention away from here.
Merrick.
Hey, Merrick. Rudge and I think we're gonna call it a night. It seems our presence here seems to be drawing attention from the coalition, and I don't think anybody needs that on their shop.
Yeah. They that's I guess the benefit and the negative of fancy looking armor, huh?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I was gonna say, we'll swing back later tonight. We'll head off and just go do our own thing and come back for camp.
Sure. Yeah. Let them cool down a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sure as long as you went through border security and stuff and figured things out, they probably won't bother you.
But it means anybody prying into their business.
Yeah, fair. Well, yeah, just head out, grab a bite to eat or whatever. There's a pretty good soup place down the road a ways there.
All right, well, we'll either catch you later tonight, or if we roll in too late, we'll see you in the morning.
All right.
Give him like a double-handed wave and walk away. Because Willow is awkward. And no one has corrected her yet.
Nope.
Exactly. All right. Yeah, I say we just slip the hell out of Tumbletown Market. I think we just should get out of there altogether.
So, as you guys kind of like head out across the market, you see the squad that is sort of hanging out on the roadside of the market. There's like a sky cycle that flies down next to them from the presumably from like the walled area.
Okay.
And they seem to be talking to each other.
That's where we saw the sky cycles coming from, right? Was
Yep.
the fortified area?
Yeah, you've seen a couple of them flying around up there.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if they maybe had like an air base anywhere that we didn't see.
You know that there's an airfield like further back.
Okay. Yeah.
From your intel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are talking, and you definitely see a couple of them sort of glance in your direction as you guys like move into obscurement by the buildings, but they don't make any move to follow you.
Rudge, I think we should get some clothes to cover our armor.
Right now, it's like getting towards nightfall. The sun is at the horizon. Poncho. Yep, and like a sombrero, like a really wide brim.
Just oh my god, like you just look super out of place. It just doesn't cover your armor fully. Like you put the hat on top of your armor.
I mean, there is like some. There's definitely some like clothes vendors in the market.
Yeah, I mean,
purchase a couple, and they definitely have ponchos.
Actually, Willow would try and actually find like a duster to match Titanus.
A duster? Yeah. They got some like travel dusters and stuff.
Yeah, she'll try and get like a higher quality one that's not gonna like rip when she moves stupidly, because she moves stupidly all the time.
And like a pretty big size.
Oh yeah, like at least one, like 2 sizes up.
Your armor is like light armor, though, right? It's considered.
Yeah. It's all very like their armors are heavier, but it's very thin.
Yeah,
it's just heavy as
sleek
shit.
for armor, but you know,
Yep.
it's still like the equivalent of wearing a winter coat under your jacket.
Yeah, it's still yep.
Yeah, otherwise, you know. All right. Yeah. So you have like I don't know, like 50 credits for a Western clothing disguise of your choice.
We're calling them costumes.
Costume. Yeah.
I can't remember. Mike, did you have the paperwork for the money? Oh, the equipment. Oh, I see it right there. So, is it 50 for each or 50 total?
50 total.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I got it. Yep, I got it.
Yeah, so you can get like a poncho and like a duster. They have like cowboy hats or straw hats as well.
Yeah.
Let's see if the size of the sombrero. Oh, God.
We're gonna look.
All right, it's a pretty modest looking sombrero. He's just like, that's not how hats work. Sorry, I mean, you want to buy 4? Because yeah, maybe you could try it. All right, extra 10 credits.
No, this is actually stupid. I was actually saying because actually Titanus doesn't have a cowboy hat yet,
Mm.
so Willow's gonna buy the fanciest one she could find to make him jealous.
It's like, oh, this is fine.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah. So Willow definitely has 2 cowboy hats, and one of them is high quality. So I'll take off like how much, an extra 10 maybe.
sure, yeah. Well, let's see how high of quality they have here.
Yeah, dude. If they have like an awesome one, she's totally doing it.
They don't have any awesome ones.
Well, an okay
The best
one.
they have is just like there's one that is just made out of like a nicely like stained leather that has like a little silver clasp on it.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so gotta update the monies. There we go. All right, so yeah, so Willow also definitely has 2 hats too. She's wearing the nice one.
So, are you still wearing? Are you wearing it like over your helmet?
Yeah, so yeah. So she's gonna have like the one like around like hanging on her back, like you know how cowboy hats can hang down.
Yeah.
Like you put the string over you, and then the other one's on top of her armor.
Okay. So.
She looks ridiculous.
And then Rudge, you buy 4 sombreros. Okay. What are? How? No, you buy them, but just how are you using these? You could cut the rim off and of them and just like extend the rim if you want. Okay, so you guys just gonna like duck into an alleyway and do a little quick costume change and then some hat surgery. Oh, that's actually a good point. You could get some bandanas too.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
And like wrap them around your like arms or face.
Yeah, like I'm definitely gonna do that, but I'm 100% sure gonna ask to make sure that's not illegal to do around here.